way to prepare for it. So if you're just joining, I'm Brian, Credit Advice UK. I live stream every day 4 a.m. Greenwich Median Time, and talking right now again about interviews and also competency based interview questions and how to answer them, because it is I think a very mind-boggling way to do it, because it is, I think, sometimes is a block. So if we say competency, we don't think it's evidence-based or just showing experience that we have done it, and we always think that we have to come up with something, grand to show. And if we can't come up with something grand, then it is something that we cannot do or show. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah. So yes, those are a little bit harder because you just need to think about it. It is, how did you deal with it? It is kind of like, that was not pulling their side to work. So how did you deal with it? What did you do? It is, I've had that situation before, kind of in admin roles, where, you do get asked that question. What I will just say is, I've had maybe a conversation with them to find out what's going on. Yeah, I think that's good. I always would say, took them out for coffee to ask to be supportive if you can get a better idea. Again, ask, say, that's perfect. I just kind of set it up a little bit, something like, yep, if needed. And again, and that's probably the way to go with that. So what you just kind of say, thank you, Theo, for the share. That's so much appreciated. Thank you. So what you just say in that kind of situation, to kind of do it as more of an evidence base, just say, I was working on a team, and we were working on X, and somebody on the team wasn't really, pulling the weight. And I kind of noticed that, and I could have potentially gone to my line manager and raised the issue. But what I thought I'd do before raising it further and kind of escalate, I would take them out for coffee, have a little bit of a chat with them, and just to see what was going on, if there's anything that I could do to help them, to get the project moving, to help them, at work. Is there anything I could do to help support them? And, they said, that's, their response was, and then I took it to do this, and the result was. And so again, you just take that as a whole, kind of little bit story on that. It is, I think, a good way to kind of build into that. Thank you, Julia, for the follow. Very much appreciated. And I think it really goes to the heart of what is a competency-based type of question. How do you answer those types of questions? Yeah, I have worked as hiring manager. I've ran teams before, sat in interviews, reviewed applications, and I've managed teams, and I've had people, and usually when you do manage, you usually wind up having to deal with people who do have issues. And so when I managed a team once, I had somebody who had a lot of kind of personal issues that was going on, and really had to get them to support and kind of let them know that there was support there, kind of walk them through what was available, like a website, games, apps that you have developed. And so that you can start to show employers, this is what I've done, this is what I know. I would say trade professions would be your best start, project management, project manager. IT is worth getting into. it is always a good paying field. I've worked in IT. The only thing with IT is what I found with it was it can be a bit lonely because you're dealing with things, not people. So if you do like to have a little bit of people contact, talk to somebody from time to time and not just get very kind of cerebral thinking about like issues and how to solve issues. And you like to have that kind of human interaction from time to time. IT may be a bit of a struggle. For me, I'm not very extroverted. I'm not a very how should I say, kind of customer driven type of individual, but I do like that human contact from time to time. Oh, well, 1200, thank you for the roses. That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. And it is, I think, it's one of those things. So if you're just trying Brian Create Advice UK, if you do like the feed, please like, please share, please follow. And if you do feel inclined, please thank us because it does help me to know what people like and helps me to drive the conversation. But right now I'm answering the question about how safe is, IT and talking about IT as a job. I think it is. I think where you're going to need to be kind of cautious of with IT is trying to figure out where do you want to go, because you will have to kind of specialize. Is it network? Is it database? Is it coding? Is it cybersecurity? Is it kind of managing the systems? Systems management, operations management. There's a lot there for you to decide, and it's up to you to make that kind of type of decision, and kind of start to develop and specialize. And that means taking additional training. So again, it's a bit kind of expensive if you do it on your own to kind of self-certify, but it is kind of worth it. It's the Cisco Certified Network Administrator, CCNA. I think, to prep and to, I think you can. I think you just need to be good at coding, and then look for cybersecurity boot camps or do apprenticeship in cybersecurity. Because you don't, from my experience working in IT, you don't need to be university. Economic is really good. It's a STEM. It's STEM, so anything STEM is really good. There is a good pay in it, especially if you go on to do your master's or doctorate degree. It is a really good degree to have.